So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down an interesting account that I found over the weekend. It is selling a physical product, canned alcohol drinks. That's nothing new, but I do think the way that they're marketing the product is really interesting because they are leaning into their identity of espresso martini girl. But I think that this account is a great example of a product that sells primarily by selling a lifestyle, by selling a community and leaning into that. And I think there's a lot of ways that you can apply this type of strategy to your products as well. I think that this is a really great account where you can get a lot of interesting insights from on how to make good content for a very specific type of community. And by the way, in case you're new here, my name is Thomas and my co-host name is Andrew, and we've scaled a bunch of social media accounts to hundreds of thousands of followers with multiple millions of views on our personal accounts as well as other businesses and other brand accounts as well. And in this whole video series, we just like to chop it up and talk content and talk about how to make good content. And if you're interested in that type of content, then definitely feel free to check out the rest of our videos. We have tons more coming. So anyways, let's get on with the video. All right, so I stumbled upon this interesting TikTok account, which is a physical product that they're selling. And I was kind of obsessed with the content. Actually, most of the time, I'm pretty good at spotting marketing content, but it actually took me a little bit to realize, oh my God, I'm literally watching content from a brand account, a marketing account. So the product is canned espresso martini. Like, okay, that's great. Canned beverages, not new. We've known about this. But the marketing for this is pretty funny because the account is called Drink Cantini. And the way that they're marketing it is so simple. And I don't know how effective it is. I'm very curious to see what their revenue number is, but it definitely works. Basically, their entire strategy is they want to focus on currently women drinking espresso martinis. I don't know about you, but I have definitely seen a huge uptick in the number of women I know that are drinking espresso martinis. It's become a way more common drink amongst the women that I know. And it's almost like become a thing, like the espresso martini girlies or espresso martini time with the girls, at least from what I've seen across social media. And their entire marketing strategy is make content that is for the girls, for the girlies, leaning into that. And just during the video, have the drink featured in it, somebody holding it and showing it off at all times. And a common thing that they're going to be pulling on is like girls going on dates with men or being in love and stuff like that. That's a huge theme of a lot of their most viral videos. And we love to see that. Of course, that's going to go viral because in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like the lower you go, the more likely that your video will do well. And I'm pretty sure love, companionship is definitely that's a very fundamental human need that almost everybody can relate to. So the first video that I actually saw from them is a video of a girl trying to craft the best response text to a guy that she's talking to, and then screen sharing her entire phone on a gigantic TV and getting her whole group of girls to chime in like, oh, no, you should write that. Oh, no, you should write that. And like, no, that's too clean. That's too much. And just during that video, every single girl that's like in screen, they're just holding the drink in their hand, being like, drink Cantini, wow. And I think this is just great because and I think the reason why this content does well, number one, I think when you have multiple people in your video, it's just way easier to have a better video, a more organic feeling video that way.
Yeah.
When you're just one person filming yourself, it's hard for it to feel organic because you are literally staging the camera on yourself to film. Whereas if you're just with like your friends and someone's randomly filming on the side, it looks a lot more natural. And I think also on top of that, with a group of people, it's easier to get good energy and funnier moments because it's hard to develop that skill of that camera presence of being a solo person on the camera, making market and having great camera presence that way. It's possible, but it's a skill you develop that takes a long time. But when you have a group of people, tensions kind of decrease and it's kind of great. But most importantly, the reason why I love products and marketing that have groups of people is because I always like to compare social media accounts to a TV show. And by having a group of people, you're introducing more characters and you can create more distinct storylines. Like in this video that really popped off, it was about a girl crafting a response to a guy, and then you can do like a follow-up video of that same girl going on a date with the guy. And actually they have a video on their account that also got multiple millions of views where it was about like a girl going on a date and like a friend like filming it candidly third person. And once again, in that video, what do you see in view the entire video? The drink. It's super simple. Very straightforward marketing.
Quick pause. If you're interested in learning how to make your product or brand go viral on social media, go check out our social media case study database in which we dive into all the top performing social media brands today and the content strategies they use to build their business. Link is in the description. All right, back to video.
I think this account's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because I'm going through their videos and Eventually, if you scroll through enough videos, you see a dude. You see the guy. I'm just like, is this the mastermind behind everything? Where he one day was just like, my girlfriend really likes drinking espresso martinis, and it's like the most guy thing to be like, how can I turn this into a business?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how the conversation went down. Like he was going to brunch with his girlfriend and our girlfriends and stuff, right? And then he just like, why is everyone ordering espresso martinis? And then he's like, wait, we should monetize this. And he started a business off of it. I wonder if that's like the origin story of this whole entire account. But no, I like the find. Overall, I think it's very smart because again, overall, it reminds me of Strawberry Milk Mop, in which they're selling a kind of a broad appeal product to the female audience, where it wouldn't really make sense for it to go on camera and just be like, guys, drink my drink. This is why it's great. Espresso martini and stuff. It's like you're selling espresso martini. People get it. They know what it is. Maybe it has different flavors, different coffee beans they're using, different like alcohol mixtures they're like putting into a drink. But overall, people kind of understand what espresso martinis are. So they had to find another way to be more creative with the marketing, in which like, how can we track our target demographic and then plug our product into each of these videos that it creates enough brand awareness that hopefully it creates spillover, that when they do see these products, because I noticed that their products are also in stores, that when they either go into grocery stores, they see the product, or they go to a website and be like, yeah, how did they know? I also like drinking espresso martinis. Oh, small world. Who would have thought, right? For example, like someone starts making videos about fucking boba drinks and stuff. I'll be like, hey, I too drink boba as well. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'm a consumer of boba from here and there. So my girlfriend will probably buy it more, but that's aside the point. So overall, I like what they did. It reminds me a lot, like I said, about Strawberry Milk Mop, in which they're selling swimwear to a female audience. So they make a lot of relatable contents to the female audience they're trying to target. And also kind of has like Logan Paul Prime-esque vibes to it, in which they basically just have product placements in every single one of their videos, and they never hard sell it. And I think like with physical products, like a physical broad product like a drink, that's how you do it, because no one's going to go on camera, watch you like explain why your espresso martini is the best drink to ever exist. It has the highest quality ingredients inside of it. They don't care. You're selling a lifestyle. You're selling a personality. You're selling community, right? Of people being like, oh, I drink espresso martini, and this is the vibe that expresses that and stuff.
I think that's so real. It's like they're not selling a product. They're selling the community of girls. They're leaning into the power of the girl economy. And I think if your product has a very targeted group that has a shared identity, whether that be the girl economy, the Asian economy, the Black economy, the Latinx, not economy. So if your product has that very specific user community that you're targeting, the girl community, the Asian community, the Black community, the Latin community,
you could call it the economy too, like that's
not wrong.
It's just like a business way of saying it. It's like the Asian economy.
Yeah. But basically, it's like you have to figure out if your product has an unfair advantage in the fact that it has a strong community identity towards it. You need to lean into that, because that is so powerful of a tool. Like, for example, like Andrew and I, we're Asian dudes, and we see a lot of like Asian inspired hard seltzers. I don't drink that much, but if I'm gonna go out and buy hard seltzer and I see a generic White Claw versus like Lunar or Nectar, one of those like the more Asian branded hard seltzers, I'm gonna lean towards buying that, because all the marketing that those brands have done has been leaning into that community. So I think this is really hard to do with like SaaS tools. I mean, because most software tools are pretty not about like appealing to like, how can you make, it's harder to make software for Asians or like for women in that sense. It's kind of like software is a lot more of a broader item category. But I think for physical products like food or literally any physical good, leaning into that identity and selling that community, that feeling of community, is a really powerful way of marketing. And you can do it in really fun ways like this, like shared universal girl experiences. Like if we were creating an Asian seltzer brand, I would probably do something about like strict Asian parents or something, like first generation, second generation experiences, like your parents yelling at you to like do math homework or something. Like there's so many shared experiences that you can lean into to sell your product that way.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is product placement in every single one of their videos, right? if they have a video that went viral without product placement, it honestly doesn't do the account much good. Unless the account already has like a following and understands who they are and stuff, then that works about better. But in general, if you are going to make more entertaining content like this and try to grow a brand that way, you need to make sure that your brand or your product is at least in the video somewhere somehow, or else you're not really driving much conversions over to your product.
If anything, one thing that you can do is make viral content. Don't talk about the product, but just have the product featured on your account at all times, and then make the first pinned video on your profile like a shameless sell about your product, being like, hey, we're Cantini, we're an espresso martini company. And that's the only video where you explicitly talk about it, and everything else you kind of just like have it in frame instead. That's one way to have just one super salesy post, and then everything else being more like organic marketing-esque instead.
Love it. I like it. Anything else?
Nah, that's it. Lean into, if your product has a good community, lean into the community. That's a great way to sell a product.
All right. That's a wrap.
Cool.